A young woman is ceaselessly weaving a seemingly boundless tapestry, with the delicate grace of a harpist plucking at her instrument strings. She takes no note of anything but her endless occupation. Check her inventory. Some dust, we can make that pretty easy, so I'm not too concerned with that. Who are you, madam? At first it seems this taciturn woman will continue to ignore your presence, but then she suddenly glances at you, and her eyes go wide with surprise and wonder. Her lips move ever so slightly, and when she speaks, her voice appears to reach you from untold distance, whispers wrestled from oblivion. I am time. The weaver of time. In the ethereal threads of eternity do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts, spectral apparitions. The drift of continents throughout the changing sea, the rising and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceivable touch of lovers' hands. Acceptable. This is all I chronicle without fault. Gotta grab a drink quick. Okay, that's better. Except it seems you... Do you mean to tell me that I'm not at all featured on the canvas of time? I do not mean to, but it is the only thing I can do. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be... but perhaps I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. How can I redeem time if, as you say, I'm not even part of it? I think that perhaps you can redeem time because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know then that no longer I did weave. I sat here, at the precipice of ages, and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time, like a terrified god that fears the offspring of its own creations. But suddenly there was you who stirred life within the stones. Those stones, children of stars, they placed new ribbons along my fingers, like phantoms out of time. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone's energy, you are creating time. These Starstones, please seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that loves, seek them out, that the void may yet devour itself alone. There are many questions I have for you. Ask and I shall answer if I can. Who are you really? I'm the Weaver of Time, and as I told you, though my existence is one that falls behind and yet far exceeds the verb to be. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers both are we of the epic eternity. Perhaps we are one and the same, task multiplied by two. Who has made us? I do not know. Why have they done so? I do not know. I am the beginning, and am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You who make dying stars rekindle. Time alone will tell. Why is Starstone so important, and why does it react to me and my colleague alone? Alas, the answers to these questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the imperfections upon my tapestry as yet. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. Starstone will not lead to the new places of wonder only, no. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old. You call this place the Precipice of Ages. Is that what it is? No more, no less? That in itself is a lot, aye. More than most realms can claim. But no, the Precipice of Ages is not to be the all and end all of this curious plane. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What could it be? What it could be, that is what the Starstone will tell. What it is but the end. What it could be is the end of ends. I reside in another realm altogether, but ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever. Why do you talk to me but not the imp historian? I do not usually talk. Come to think of it, whenever I addressed you, it was the first time my voice has ever been invoked. I have no need of conversation, like I have no need of air, or appetite, or affection. All I need, and all I am is time. Time is running out, unless you remedy its declivity. You I talk to, for you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. I'll take my leave.
We should tell the imp the Weaver's tale.
Well, hello there.
You looked through the looking lens. You saw. Terrifying, isn't it? So much to see, so much to discover, so little time to do it in. I'm not a child imp. The darkness doesn't scare me. Oh, how brave you are, how bold and hardy. Too bad it won't help even a little bit when the seemingly inevitable end comes to swallow you whole. This maw of darkness, it consumes time itself. Yes, Starstone Starter, you have just witnessed the end of all. The maelstrom that, like a carrion eater, is devouring the carcass of creation. Space and time have all lost meaning, for they are falling prey to the void. And in the void, there is only existence. There is no existence. A bleak prospect indeed, and yet you do not seem to despair. I did despair. For the longest time I did. Aeons upon aeons I traveled through the reaches of time, through the rifts that led to worlds unimaginable, hoping to find something, anything that could put a stop to the maelstrom. That is how I found this place, and I knew that this was to be the answer, where the answer must be hidden. It teems with mystery undiscovered, power that is limitless, yet out of reach. Until you came along, the only ones... Okay. Yet remains out of reach. Until you came along, the one who can tame Starstone. You have drowned my despair. You whom I believe to be the end... can end the end of time. I met with the Weaver of Time. She talked to me. Wondrous, oh wondrous indeed. At last she's willing to speak to someone around here. So, what did she say? That I should look for starstones, for they renew and revitalize time. I knew it! As surely as Zix comes before Zax. I knew it! Then that should your mission be, my friend. Oh, I beseech you, let that be your mission. To trace Starstone, wherever it may lead you. Together we'll try to unfold the depths of this dimension and thereby try to save all and everything from annihilation. Here, take this runestone and this precious little pyramid. Gifts are they from me to you. The rune will bring you back and forth from Mervilon, wherever you decide the moment is opportune. And the pyramid, it has a twin. Find it, and you'll see just how handy these twins can be. Okay, we've gone over the options. Let's go ahead and teleport back to the North Gate. We'll finish checking out the murder scene. Use the pyramid to go find its twin.
My good man, a drink, please.
Please, don't keep shouting in my ear.
Close the door because a lot of stuff was showing up red before, at least in the beta. That looks like they fixed all of it. I'm still not sure if the inert stones have any kind of use once they've used up their power, so I'm still going to be holding on to those. Couple of things in there. Letter from the Duke. Some armor. Once again, not bad. Send that to Asuna. It's even equipable right now. We lose a little bit of armor, gain some resistances, a lot of fire resist, and some bodybuilding. Kind of like that. The extra bodybuilding is real nice. For those who aren't familiar with it, in your defensive stats, your bodybuilding and your willpower are where the game does your roll to see if you're vulnerable for different status effects. Bodybuilding in particular, I find pretty useful. Saves you against knockdown, burning, bleeding, crippled, blinded, weak, disease, infected, and drunk. Knockdown and burning alone, out of that list, make a pretty big difference. Feared isn't so bad from what I've seen. Generally, you have to roll a 30 or above to succeed in a saving throw. Charmed can be incredibly bad. Luckily, not many things use it so far. Frozen, slowed, and stunned can be a pain as well. Usually easy enough to deal with, though. Alright, we'll go ahead and use our pyramid that we got. We do want to go ahead and add that to our hotbar as well. My gods, what's going on here? First I have to shoo away a deranged imp? Now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom? Get out, will you? Ah, this is a curious mix-up, no? It'll be quite a story to tell tomorrow. I had the wrong character selected. I meant to do that with a Kirito. Oh well. Yeah, that was pretty excited. Is that a medium health? No. Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that horrible little imp are planning, but leave my bathroom out of it.
Bye. Out now, if you please. This room is private. Don't just stand there. Go away with you.
Yes, we'll go ahead and take that pyramid. That's one thing in here that I don't think she minds. Everything else will have to be a little more crafty if we're going to obtain.
Now, if you please. This room is private. Out now, if you please. This room is private. Don't just stand there.
Abusing the
away with you.
line of sight there a bit. Moving a screen into her way.
Out now, if you please. This room is private.
Got the key.
Out now.
Since she's being so crabby, we'll take her soap. She can't finish washing.
Stand there. Go. This room is private.
Okay, believe that's everything in here. These barrels here seem to have been bugged since, as far as I can remember, we'd never been able to open them in any playthrough. Alright, we got some IDing to do, as well as some books to read.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Wow, good timing. Pickpocketing boots. That is perfect. Now we can actually do a quest the way I was intending to. First, let's go ahead and head down to... Let's see. We'll go visit the mayor first. And of course, what's the first thing you do as soon as you get somewhere new?
Greetings.
Send your rogue to investigate the place a bit. That was almost bad, though. Oh, I see. The keys are underneath the plants. I'll have to wait to get that. I'm actually very surprised that his cat doesn't, like, set off some kind of alarm or something. Oh, that's right, that's the key we need. We're just gonna send him up in the library for now, then we'll
Bye.
do our dialogue with him in a moment. Security made quick work of all that. An upgrade dagger that has willpower? I'll definitely take that. Bracers with blacksmithing and pickpocketing. Once again, both things Kirito... Well, pickpocketing at least is one thing he'll be using. Or armor initiative. It's not amazing, but a little better than what we have on currently, which is kind of sad. Three armor boots. Suna. Okay. Repair mount on her bar. Try option on that. Okay. I don't think you get mad if we open this from the inside.
Greetings.
What? Oh, hello again. Please tell me how I can help you during your investigations. I know your plate is full enough to fill for days. Tell me about yourself. My elf? What elf? Oh, myself. I am Cecil, Mayor of Sicile, and husband of the stately Cecilia. I've been the mayor here for decades. I'm quite eager to see Sicile through these difficult times, yes. Very difficult times indeed. Tell me about the issues in Sicile. What? Oh, you mean Sicile. Very difficult times indeed. As though the death of Jake, and by source magic no less, weren't enough. We're also facing all sorts of brutish intruders. The undead have overrun all but one northern trade route, whilst the orcs are making a habit of savaging our beaches. That's not to mention the top of the whole caboodle, there's rumors of some new religious sect or cult, or some such, seeking its tendrils into the innocent, seven-fearing folks of Sicile. And while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves a magic relic I have foolishly sought, a weapon called the Staff of Pergamon. What is this about a Staff of Pergamon? The what of what now? You're speaking gibberish. Ah, you mean the Staff of Pergamon. Yes, yes, I was expecting a shipment of weapons, and among the cargo was this very powerful, very rare staff. I managed to place the order through means... somewhat atypical to a government official. Cecil proved an old fool, though, for the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damned thing has gone missing. I fear it may have fallen into the wrong hands, and I wonder if you could retrieve it for me. Tell me about the merchant. His name is Conrad, captain the Tidesplitter, merchant ship still docked at the Sicile harbor. You can talk to him if you think it'll help. But I'd quite like to avoid getting the Legion involved if you don't mind. What do you know about the staff itself? The staff itself contains a shard of ore highly valued for its use in weapons of war. I know use of the material is forbidden, but I was desperate to do something to aid the town folks against the undead. Okay, the rest of what he has to say. Okay, I'm hoping that did not mess up the recording, we'll see. Internet had a bit of a hiccup there.
Greetings.
Alright, so we'll speak to Charlene. A source hunter. Ah, what a sight for Sicilian eyes. Tell me about yourself. Me? I live alone here in town. Used to be that my younger brother Tom and I were practically joined to the hip. Well, that's all changed now. What happened to your brother Tom? He's always been something of a rascal, calling his pretty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worrying my poor mind. But of course, I've always loved that scamp to bits. For my part, I encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring with Captain Aureus now and then. But then those blasted Fabulous Five came into town. That band of, I don't even know what to call them, well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see them. That one meeting was all it took for Tom to run off with them in some mission to God knows where.
Bye.
Alright, they gave us a quest to find her brother. He's apparently working with the Fabulous Five.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Pseudo-Monarchia Daemonium. And the first edition too. Most promising.
Alright, we're going to speed through this a bit. This is Cecil's daughter, an orc, Victoria. Right now we're just going to be asking her to take some books from the library.
Bye.
Demonology for
Sorcery
dumb.
still hasn't been returned.
I need
They're
something
running
more
for the pay.
advanced.
Get another fine.
I do suggest that you take anything else aside from books and scrolls, like if I were to touch these flasks right now, considered stealing. Same for rat extermination for some reason, even though it is a book.
What nonsense. Encyclopedia Daemonium. I know it by heart.
Just make sure you're double checking
This isn't the grimoire I'm looking
that whatever you're trying to access is indeed showing gold. Especially since right now, if we anger them too much, Jahan's level 3 and she's level 5.
Demonology for
Meanwhile, we're level 4, or 3. We'd have kind of a bad time. It'd be a short fight.
Where's the third one gone? Sometimes these books spell little legs in the night.
Encyclopedia Daemonium.
Who plays this book?
Alright. I think that's enough for this recording session though. Probably get some more done tomorrow or the day after. Hope y'all enjoyed it.